Enugu,
Need this
you are saying your face should be up.
This has come.
Good morning, gentlemen and ladies. Before you are representatives of the Forum of APC States Chairmen in Nigeria, APC States Chairmen Forum, 36 states, including Abuja FCT. We are gathered here to address the press and Nigerians alike on the state of the nation and our position as a party. Alphonsus Oga Eba Esquire JP is my name. I'm the chairman of APC in Cross River State, and by the special grace of God, the secretary of the Forum of all APC State Chairmen. It is not in my nature to read a prepared speech, but because this is a collective decision of all of us, please permit me to read this prepared speech, which is jointly signed by the 37 of us. This is a text of a press brief by Forum of All Progressive Congress APC State Chairman in Nigeria on the state of the nation, holding today the 29th day of July 2024 at the Media Center of the All Progressives Congress headquarters in Abuja. Gentlemen of the press, it is with the greatest respect to all Nigerians and a deep sense of patriotism that we, the Forum of APC State Chairmen in Nigeria, are gathered here to brief you today in what we have termed a World Press Conference. We once again appreciate all Nigerians across party lines for their resilience and patience since the beginning of the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's led administration on the 29th day of May 2023. It is true that our president, on assumption of office, took a very courageous, bold, and very difficult step to reset the economy and build a stronger foundation to address the underlying problems which he came to meet in respect of our economy. And that was the huge and wasteful burden of payment of the alleged fraudulent fuel subsidy and the wide disparity in forest markets. While things appear to be tough today, our hope for a better tomorrow is assured through the renewed hope, policies, programs, projects being embarked upon by Mr. President. And these are intended to provide a sustainable, permanent economic prospect for the good of all Nigerians. While I want to commend the patience and tolerance of Nigerians this 1 year, we align our strong position of the patriotic dimension on the steps already taken by our traditional rulers, our religious leaders, political leaders of conscience, our respected fathers, mothers, and friends alike, even including rightly guided thinking media men like you and us. Our dear brothers and sisters, this decision across diverse religious, ethnic, and different political parties has been very strong. I want to humbly appeal to everyone to give Mr. President more time to implement his renewed hope projects and programs. And we believe that there will be light at the end of the tunnel. Fellow citizens, your voices have been heard loud and very clearly by Mr. President, and is relentlessly committed to providing the leadership that will take this country out of the current economic and socio-political challenges. We are all in agreement that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria guarantees peaceful assemblage. Therefore, protest under our law is constitutional. But such protest can only be carried out in tandem with the rule of law. You are all aware that the security reports that have so far been given clearly shows that embarking on this protest now, justifiably as it may be to record our anger, may be counterproductive. This is because some few persons from the security reports and what we have gathered in the last few days have concluded sinister plans to hijack this protest. And hijacking might be reminiscent of what happened during the EndSARS protest and the recent experience in Kenya. It is therefore advisable that since we have made our point very clear, and the president has heard us loud and clear, going to the field to dissipate energy will not be too good. And that is why, again, we appeal for more time to Mr. President to implement these policies of his. Fellow Nigerians, it is our humble view that embarking on any protest now will worsen the already challenging socio-economic situation. And that is why we have decided to join our voices to make this appeal to all Nigerians that as a ruling party whom you trusted, we are all committed to contribute our own quota to ensure that peace reigns in Nigeria. Furthermore, we have become fully aware through public utterances of some of these persons that the protest is more political than the economic concerns that was earlier expressed. It is therefore proper to bring to the knowledge of rightly guided thinking Nigerians that the political undercurrent flowing from the planned protest appears to have redirected the initial focus, which was about economic challenges, poverty, and high cost of living, to an unconstitutional change of government by some failed politician. And this statement can be substantiated by their charter of demands, which is clearly that the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria should be jettisoned with a people constitution that will emanate from the holding of a sovereign national conference. You are all aware that Mr. President took an oath to protect the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. To tell him to jettison this Constitution is to commit an unconstitutional breach, which itself will not be good for all of us. Our dear journalists, fellow Nigerians, as we gather this day, we want to let you know that the elections have since been concluded, and disputes that arose from that election have also been amicably settled by the highest court of the land. It is therefore surprising that sore losers are trying to use this planned protest to achieve their aim, and this is stoutly condemned by all of us as chairmen and members of our great party who worked so tirelessly to earn the trust and support of all Nigerians. We condemn it in its totality for being illegal, and we call on all Nigerians alike, including journalists, to condemn it too. Because this democracy, which a lot of you fought with your blood to allow us enjoy today, we all need to protect it. As the ruling party, we are prepared to meet every contestant in 2027 when the first term of our dear president will come to an end. And it is only Nigerians that will decide through the power of the ballot whether we have done well or not. And if Nigerians decide that we should continue, which is within the right of Mr. President, he will surely seek re-election. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are confident that and very optimistic that the president's policy in the areas of students' loan scheme, the consumer credit scheme, the minimum wage award by over 133%, the CNG vehicle conversion policy, the renewed vigor in the war against corruption, insurgency, banditry, crude oil theft, the massive infrastructure projects, the renewed hope housing project across the country, the massive distribution of food and financial support to all states across political party lines as palliatives, the creation of the Ministry of Livestock, which is fundamentally geared towards a permanent solution to the persistent farmers and herders clashes in the Benue Plateau Taraba region, which is the food basket of this country, and in some part of the northern part of this country. And above all, the review of the privatization policy of the previous administration as it has to do with the reform in the energy sector. The recent Supreme Court judgment that has granted autonomy to the local government, that has brought government even closer to the people and will guarantee the participation of everybody from the grassroots. And above all, the removal of import taxes on pharmaceutical and food products and the investment in agriculture and its value chain to guarantee food security, and the recent revelation that with the vigor and the fight of Mr. President, oil production per barrel has increased lines to remain vigilant and work towards maintaining peace, law, and order in the respective domain and localities to protect our hard-earned democracy. We call on all patriotic Nigerians to resist any attempt by anyone or any group of persons to intimidate them into unorganized protest likely to endanger the peace we currently enjoy as a nation. We call on all patriots to join forces with security agencies to report any criminal element who attempt to carry out any violent protest. I repeat, any violent protest. Against this background, and as a party committed to defend the mandate given by our party and by our president, in the next 2 weeks, commencing from this 29th day of July to 11th of August, and from this press briefing, we shall follow by writing to the Inspector General of Police to get the necessary permit to show the routes that we all shall occupy the various wards, political wards, state capitals, including Abuja, for the singular objective of ensuring that this democracy is protected, and to solidarize with the achievement of Mr. President, which we have rolled out and which is very audible to the deaf and very clear to the blind to see that Mr. President is on the right track. This is necessary because as a government, we cannot fold our hands and allow undemocratic forces take over the mandate that was given to us in trust by the great people of Nigeria. We therefore want to call on all party men and concerned Nigerians in other political parties, because we appreciate the comments coming from rightly guided thinking Nigeria. One of them is the governor of Abia, who yesterday had to counter the presidential candidate of one of the political parties to say that protests must follow the rule of law. That was a bold and courageous statement. And we call on other leaders across political party lines to throw the same line. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we enjoin everyone to stand firm in the protection of democracy. It should be noted that the violent protests being contemplated by some of these faceless groups, as contained in their Charter of Demand, will annihilate the democratic ideals which all political parties have subscribed to. This is unacceptable, and we must resist it in the most civil manner, not by engaging in fighting, not by engaging in violence, but by occupying the streets to sensitizing innocent and peace-loving people of our dear country about the plans of some of these failed politicians who want to get power through every illegitimate means by inciting ignorant Nigerians to embark on violent protest. We call on all security agencies, and before we even call on them, we want to thank them for their proactive steps already taken. But we call on them to be more proactive. As a government and as a party, we shall not accept reactionary measures any longer. In our meeting with Mr. President on the 15th of March, 2024, we said the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria have provided the necessary support to security agencies. No one expects him to be in the battlefield to protect lives and property. That is saddled in the hands of security agencies, and we please appeal to them to be awake, to be vigilant, because the plans of the evildoers are of evil and not of good. But we are reminded, at the risk of going episcopal, that the book of Isaiah is very clear that they will surely gather, but because this gathering is not of God, they will surely scatter. And the book of Romans goes far to say that everybody must subject himself to the governing authority, for there is no authority except that comes from God. And therefore, we have a president today that by your support, and because the voice of the people is the voice of God, he is leading us well. We therefore want to say that with God on our side, our country shall overcome all challenges. I thank you for coming out to listen to us, even as we say, long live the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Long live the hard-working, indefatigable President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and long live the All Progressives Congress. Thank you.